Hi guys, ignore the no makeup. Obviously not done face makeup today yet, it's really early still, but what I wanted to do, do you remember a while back when I didn't have the Colourpop Alice in Wonderland palette or the Colourpop Snow White palette? Right, I set my own palette up, so let me talk to you about it. So this side here is Alice in Wonderland, and this side here is Snow White. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to see how well I dupe the Alice in Wonderland side, this here. And then maybe in a live, once I pulled it out for a Shop My Stash video, we can use the dupe palette and we can also use the original and just see how close I got. I want to do swatches today, that's what this video is primarily about. So it's Colourpop Alice in Wonderland versus, a lot of these are Colourpop as well, but a lot of them are Pastel Roses. So this is Pastel Roses here, this is Pastel Roses. I think this has come from, I think that one came from the Muppets palette from Colourpop. So yeah, I just want to see how well I duped it and if mine is better. I always get the impression, especially when I use like higher end eyeshadows, like the singles from Pastel Roses, that it will be a little bit better. But obviously I didn't have this palette at the time, so I didn't know how close it was. I mean, look at that. Isn't she a beauty? It's so stunning. So I think I should do the Colourpop. I'm going to try and do them on the arm there because I can never get it right here. I'll do them on the arm first and we'll work our way up, I think. So we're going to go with this one here. This one's called Down the Rabbit Hole. It's like a blue with a mint green shift. Oh, that's stunning. Right, so I can say off the bat, I don't think I've duped that shade. Let's turn the light down. It's broad daylight. We don't need it to be as bright as it is. But I want some light. Can you see it better now? Right, just get my makeup eraser. Okay. So now then, we're going to go in with the Colourpop one. I don't know what palette that's... Shit. Right, so this one has completely fallen out and is probably going to ruin my clothing. Sorry for the profanity, guys. These pants aren't even mine. I borrowed them the other day to go to the doctor's. Oh, I'm going to have to take this out, otherwise it's just going to keep falling. Hang on. Right, I'm hoping that eyeshadow is going to come off my mum's trousers. I mean, she said that I can have them, but I want to pass them back, really. Oh, I've got black eyeshadow everywhere. I've tried getting it from the palette, but there's still some left in the corner. Yeah, there's still a little bit left here. So what I need to do is try and find a sparkly black eyeshadow within my collection. I don't think I've got one. Sorry about my hair. Seems a bit messy. Anyway, that's the first shade. So what we was doing now, we was getting the next shade. So this is the one that I duped. I'm just going to take them out like that. I don't want any more shadows falling out of the palette. I don't know what this one is. It's probably out of the mint to be. So that's it there. I think it's similar, but it doesn't have a shift. That one has like a yellow shift, doesn't it? And this one doesn't. That's that. So the next one in the Colourpop palette, I can't stop showing it to you, she is beautiful, is this one here. So this one is called I'm Late. I'm Late. I'm Late. This one's a glitter, but it's not one of those glitters you can't use. I think they've improved the formula. What I should have done, right, I'll do it, because you're not going to know now then. So I'm going to remove this second one and we're just going to put it underneath the actual Colourpop one. And I can say Colourpop this side, my dupe palette this side. So let me just go in with that mint green again. Here. Yeah, I don't think they're really similar. I don't think they'd even look similar on the eye, just because this is a yellow flip and that's just straight up mint green. So I hope we've got at least a few shades that will look similar on the eye, then I can do an eye look with it. So we're going back in with I'm Late. So I'll do that next to this one. That's pretty. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Right, and then let's try and get this one out so you can actually see it up close. Then I'm going in with this one. Yeah, I'm almost certain it's come out of the Muppets. Let me just get that and check. So this is the Muppets Holidays palette. My friend Karen bought it for me for Christmas. Not this Christmas just gone, the one before it. I don't think it was a Christmas gift. I think she just sent it to me, which was really nice of her. Yeah, it's called Icy Patch, this one here. So, at least we know what it is. I think from now on when I do dupe palettes like this, because I don't think this is going to stay as it is. I think it's going to go back into the palettes that it came from. Just because I don't need the Snow White palette plus the Alice in Wonderland plus a dupe palette, do I not? So I just want to do this and then do a look with both palettes, and then I'll kind of put them in the remaining palettes. Anyway, Icy Patch. Oh, that flips more gold. And that's just white silver. It's actually got a tinge of orange in it as well. Yeah. Let's do another swatch. It's a lot lighter. Look, can you see how that's got a tinge of orange in it? That's kind of straight up, I would say, white silver. So they're not dupes. We're not doing too well thus far. We might do better when it gets to pastel, like matte shades. So I think we've got one coming up. No, we haven't. So we've got the Very Merry, like a lilac pink. And I don't think that's going to go with the one that I've chosen. See, that's the thing, right? You do these dupe palettes. Sometimes I've got lucky. I'm going to do 2 swatches of this. Sometimes I've got lucky and I've really come close. Like with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, I feel like I did a really good job with that palette. But then with this one, it's not looking like I've done as good a job. You basically need to have the palette and then go to your singles and see if you've duped it well. Right, so this one is A Very Merry Birthday. Very beautiful. These shades are stunning. And then we've got this one. What palette's that up there? I think it will have come out of that Lilac Hue a lot. So that's that one there. Don't ask me what the shade is. It feels very powdery. It's not as nice as the one from the Alice in Wonderland. So they're both Colourpop, but that's the Alice in Wonderland, and then that's my dupe. So far, I think this is the closest, but this has got a yellow tinge. I think you'd be able to see that on the eyes as well. Okay, so second row. Right, so now we've got some mattes, so maybe we can do a bit better there. But even if I can do better there on the mattes, I'm going to want to put shimmer down as well. So we've got this one here called That's Logic. So let's do this. So that looks like that. So that's the Alice in Wonderland one. So that's that one there. Then we've got another Colourpop one, which has come out of, who knows? That's that one there. I think it's a bit darker. Tiny bit darker. I would say this is more salmon, this is more peach. Right, then we've got this blue one here, this blue sequin one. So that's Curiouser and Curiouser. It's like a really nice sky blue. That's that one there. Then we've got this one. This one's a sequin one as well. So that one may be the closest we've got so far. Again, it looks like a really nice sky blue. Ooh, they're pretty close. That one just looks a smidge deeper, doesn't it? They are pretty close, so I think they'd look like pretty close on the eye. Right, so that's one shade that we potentially could use. Okay, next one is Talking Flowers. That one there. The purple that I pulled is nowhere near. Just looking at it, it's nowhere near. Right, so this one looks like it's got a hell of a lot more pink. Mine doesn't. Again, the Colourpop is probably come out of Lilac Hue a lot as well. Yeah, it's more blue toned. Nowhere near. If I can't get shades other than the blues that I've pulled out, I'm not doing a tutorial. I'll just take all these shades out because it's pointless, isn't it, if you can only get one shade that's similar. Then, is it third row down? Yeah, third row down. That green is nowhere near. So my dupe green is nowhere near the same. So we've got Mad Tea Party, this one here. This has been a difficult palette to dupe. This is like a sage green. Yeah, they look completely different on the website. And I've obviously duped them from the website. I think I also watched a couple of people do swatches. I think Lauren May Beauty did some swatches. I took a picture of her arm and just duped it that way. And obviously with lights and things like that, they looked lighter. So that's the Colourpop one. Alice in Wonderland, that's Sage. Not Sage, Mad Tea Party. And then we've got this one, which is nowhere near. Come from one of my quintets. I can't remember the name of it. Can you see? Such a contrast. Definitely not going to look the same on the eyes. Right, this is where it's going to get interesting because I've got, in the dupe palette, I've got a couple of pastel rosy shades. So, Stark Raving Mad. This one here is beautiful. And then, what's this one? Teal from Pastel Roses. Obviously, there'd be something wrong if this wasn't as nice. It's not the same. It's definitely got more sparkle to it. I'd say this isn't a dupe palette. I'd say it's more inspiration for the Alice in Wonderland. Let's call it that. So, that's the Alice in Wonderland one. So that's the Pastel Roses and it's green with a blue flip. It's so, so pretty. Getting to the point where you're not really seeing them now. But I hope you can see that. Okay, the next one is That Way, which is this one here. Like a really nice top. Do another swatch of it. So that's the Alice in Wonderland there. And my one that I've duped or tried to dupe is lighter. I don't know if I'd, now that, you know, I've done this, I don't know if I should look into my collection and see if I've got any closer shades. But like I said, you know, even if I have, the palette wouldn't stay like this anyway, because it's just, there's not much point in it, you know. It's like doubling up on eyeshadow palettes, and this magnetic palette could be used for something else that I don't have. So Alice in Wonderland one there, and then that's my dupe. That one's darker, more grey toned, I would say. So, and then the last row, right, we've got this really nice purple here. It looks like it's got a blue undertone, and it's called AEIOU, if that's what it's called. Pretty. Alice in Wonderland. And we're going in with another Pastel Roses. This is just, I think, one of the normal shimmers. This is one of the first shimmers that they brought out. And it's not something that I would normally use, a blue, but it's got an undertone of something else. So it's definitely a duochrome. So yeah. Purple with a blue shift. So it wouldn't be a dupe for the Alice in Wonderland one. I mean, it just looks straight up blue there when I twist my arm. I don't think we're going to be able to do a look with it, guys, which is a shame. But I've shown you the swatches and we can see, you know, if it's a dupe palette. So now we've got, I think, the black. It doesn't look black though. Nothing's impossible. It looks brown with some sparkle, but then it looks black on my finger. Oh, that's pretty and very, very smooth. So nothing's impossible. Then my matte in my palette isn't a sequin one. So it looks like that. It's just very, very smooth. I mean, black's black, right? It should look the same. they'd probably look the same on the eyes, apart from this one having sequins in. You can never see the sequins when you're using the Colourpop sequin shades, so I bet that would look the same. So far we've got a blue and a black that would look the same on the eye, and I would realistically like at least one shimmer. The last one in the palette is this Loose Something. I think this is a glitter. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's so pretty though. It's like straight up fuchsia. Oh, that's really pretty. So that's the Alice in Wonderland one. And then my similar one is again come from Pastel Roses. Oh, that first one on the 4th row was called Aurora, by the way. Sorry, I didn't tell you the name. And then this one is called Magic Potion. I'm sure I got that for free last year when I placed an order. Or was it the year before? I know that I wouldn't have ordered this for myself. Yeah, it's not similar, is it? More similar than I thought. I mean, it's not especially similar. But that's the Pastel Roses one. That's the Colourpop one. I bet we could get a similar look. Right, so I'm going to do a Duping the Vibes. I will probably try and use these, but I'll go in very, very light-handed with this one, with this Colourpop one. So that's all the shades. Sorry, I know you can't see them. I think I'll take a picture so you can see them a little bit better, but that's all the shades. At the moment, I feel like I like the Alice in Wonderland better. Now, mine has quite a lot of nice tones in it. I mean, even this green, looking at it, we could definitely get a very, very similar look, I think. Especially on camera, and with these as well, I'd get a similar look. We're going to definitely do a Duping the Vibes. So my dupe palette versus Alice in Wonderland, just so I can see. And then I think I'll take the Alice in Wonderland shades out. I'm just taking all these shit. I've taken all of them off. I was going to put a picture up, and now I'm going to have to do it again. Oh, I don't think I'm going to bother. So that was clever of me, wasn't it? It's like, I'm going to take a picture. Just wipe your hand off, Andrea. So anyway, I'm definitely going to be doing a Duping the Vibes, just so you can see how similar they all are. Well, not all, but we're going to be doing a look with it, is what I'm saying. I'll do that in a live, probably in the next week or so. We can see if you can tell the difference. I feel like on some shades, I just need to choose the shades well. I feel like on some shades that you will be able to, but on others you won't. Because when I was looking at my arm then from far away, some of them looked really, really similar. So I might actually put the shades on again, but here, down the arm here, and take a photograph that way. Concludes the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share and comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Okay, so Alice in Wonderland is on the left, and then my dupe palette is on the right here. I think the most dupeable ones, those two like red tone ones there. Then the blacks, that purple is not similar to the Pastel Roses one, that's more blue toned. The browns, one's more cooler than the other. I don't think those like green ones are similar either. Well, those matte greens are definitely not, but you know, those like teal ones, maybe they would look a little bit similar on the eye. Just one is more sparkly than the other, and that's a Pastel Roses one. The purples aren't similar. The blues are really, really similar, so we could potentially do a look with that. I feel like I could do a look with the salmon shades. Just go in a little bit lighter with the one that I've duped. Those purples look quite similar. The glitters do, and then those mint green ones, it's just that one's got more of a yellow flip, and will that show on camera? So there are a few shades that we can be using in this video that's coming up, in this live that's coming up. I think it's going to be fun to actually do it, and then I can put these back in the respective palette, and then we'll move over to these. This is the Snow White that I did. So I'm not going to do that yet today. I want to focus on this one. So I think I'm going to bring the, let's show you. I think I'm going to bring the Alice in Wonderland palette out for the next Shop My Stash, and we'll use it in a live with, obviously, these.